he's a white lion albino, and being that in the world, the animal kingdom, that's a problem. So he doesn't belong anywhere. He was kicked out of his tribe, his family, society. So he's a survivor, and he turns into a formidable lion throughout. His heart is dark, obviously, when we meet him, because he, unlike Mufasa, who was also an outcast, he's chosen a different way of solving his own problems, and that is with a dark heart. And this is where we meet him. And then he's also a great inspiration for Scar later on, I believe. It's a great honor. I mean, we all grew up with the Disney movies since our parents' generation did as well. So it's for a Danish guy to sit there and be offered something where you're there from the get-go, from scratch, creating together with Barry and the animators. That's not something you ever anticipated would come your way. So I'm just super honored. Again, it's a super honor, and I loved every single second of it. And I've never, except for the first half hour, I was super nervous, and I had to figure out how am I going to sing? What's this all about? I'm not a singer. But once we got past that and let go, and we said A, you also have to say B, then it was fantastically joyful. And the song, as I should say, I really enjoy that song. Well, we're going back, figuring out how Mufasa became him. But maybe more importantly, we're going back to see how Scar became Scar. So the relationship between the two brothers, and the Scar's wish for a brother, that slowly but surely turns into to the opposite, and also another dark heart when he realizes that his brother, Mufasa, is so much more of a lion than he can ever be. It's a very Shakespearean story and recognizable story, and I think that's at the heart of the entire film. Backstory. The thing about backstories, like sometimes you would like to see him, sometimes you don't. You just want to see. I don't know how he ended up there, but listen, would it be fun to see the seven dwarfs from Snow White just figure out where did they come from? Don't they have any parents? What's going on here? The more animation we get, the easier it is. So in the beginning, the first couple of sessions we had was obviously tricky because that was maybe just one drawing and then a scene, and then Barry. But so Barry had to make up for the animation that wasn't there yet. And he was a master at that. He obviously had the entire film in his head, so he could easily inspire us to go ballistic and come up with something he could use. But I gotta say, the further we got into the process and the more we had to look at, the easier it was for us, of course. Well, it's a fun film. First of all, there's a lot of good jokes in here and a lot of fun stuff. But it's also a fantastically beautiful film. I mean, I'm thrown away with the animation. It's just it's so lively. It's so much lions in there, but at the same time, there is a touch of human character, but not too much. And that balance is fantastic. And then the story of Mufasa and Scar, how they became what we know them to be. Yeah, it does the same. And I think I touched upon it just now. This Shakespearean quality, the stories that are always evergreen, something in human character that never ever changes. So Disney was smart enough not to, comment on the present time every time they did something, but in general comment on human nature, and that makes them evergreens.